Hello, everyone, and welcome to another revisit of The Mandalorian. I'm your host, Ronan Jane, and by now, the time you see this, we have rewatched season one of The Mandalorian with Lance. But I was like, no, we got to keep going forward. We still are about almost a month and change away from 2 months and change from the Mandalorian and Grogu film, which is all leading up to this little cool series of just rewatching and the road to that film. But I was like, if we do season two, it just got to be more than Lance and I. And from what I heard of Lance, he liked season one a lot. I wanted to continue. But I was like, wait a minute, I know more people. I have friends everywhere who are more Star Wars fans. And I have one here who usually we just talk about Last of Us. And this is the first time we're actually going just nothing but Star Wars. We have Gianni Bravo. How you doing, Johnny?
What's up, man? How you doing? And yeah, I guess this is really like the first time we've talked about Star Wars before, or maybe quickly in passing. But
In depth, dude. They're like, because I've known that Johnny is a big Star Wars fan, but he has his thoughts on how to navigate the fandom and the medium we work, we hang out, and know how many landmines are there for us who are Star Wars fans. I want to just share the enthusiasm, but I was like, nah, it's a safe space, no live stream. We're recording this. Fuck all that. Like, we're just gonna watch a show that I think we both love a lot.
oh
And
yeah,
um, but it's episode one, chapter 9, technically, of The Mandalorian. And it's been a while since you've seen the this season, Johnny, because I know it's been a while for me too.
yeah. I mean, I would say I probably rewatched the first season the most, just because it was the first season. It was new when it came out. I watched it, and then I rewatched it a couple times after. I rewatched it with like my grandparents even and stuff. The second season, I remember watching it as it aired, and I loved it maybe even more than the first season. This probably is my favorite season of the show from what I remember, but I really haven't seen it really since it aired. I want to say during the pandemic, I rewatched it maybe once or twice after, but it's been years. So remember the season having huge highlights, having huge just fan crowd pleasing moments, and I'm excited to kind of give it a rewatch.
Before we do that, Johnny, where are you at right now leading up to the film? Because this is the road to the Mandalorian Grogu. Are you excited about the film? Are you passive? Are you cautiously optimistic? Like, where are you at with the film?
I'm cautiously optimistic. The marketing has been very hit or miss for me. I'd say nothing's gotten me too low or too high on it so far. I'm just going in as a Star Wars fan, someone that loves this show, and hoping to have a good time back in the theaters watching Star Wars, which is my favorite way to watch Star Wars is in the movie theater. So I'm just excited to see a new Star Wars movie in the movie theaters. And yeah, I mean, I think the Mandalorian being the one that kind of brings Star Wars back into the theaters is pretty cool.
And again, folks, for those who are watching us, this came out right before Rise of Skywalker came out, and that was concluding the Skywalker saga. And this was just a new, in my opinion, new blood, new fresh vibes into the franchise. And I think it was very necessity and
Yeah,
necessary.
very needed.
I remember freaking out over this in the trailer. I'm like, oh shit, we're back.
It was a pretty epic reveal for the trailer. And I love how the trailers really didn't show anything
Just
in the
tease without
season
context.
at all.
Yeah.
Which, I remember seeing the trailer and maybe having a similar reaction to the movie of like, okay, the Mandalorian's back, cool. And then you watch the season, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping the movie might be the same thing.
And I think people forget that this season came out in 2020 or 2021, which is like
Yeah.
the early days of COVID. It's like we really needed this if we were all staying home. And
This was a huge event during COVID, man. Like this is
yeah,
when I was off from work, so I just was getting unemployment. I was staying up till 3 a.m. to watch every new episode.
yes. Oh, like, this has echoes in the movie, the other movie. Like, all right, we're gonna go to a Muay Thai fight club and
Yep.
just watch. I'm like, yeah. And the fact is, these guys from Jabba's Palace, oh,
Yeah, the
Warring Guards.
You know this is no place for a child.
Wherever I go, he goes.
Oh,
So I've heard.
You know who that is, right?
I think I forgot.
That's Luigi Mario. That's John Leguizamo.
If I can locate other
Right, I
Mandalorians, they can help
forgot.
guide
Yeah.
me. I'm told you know where to find them.
Oh,
The whistling birds,
I'm not.
man.
oh. And music to this music.
That just gives me the chills.
Oh,
Love how heavy the Beskar feels.
yeah.
Like it feels so heavy from the sound design, but then you see him moving it, and you just know he's so used to it that just like free flowing with it.
Tatooine?
What?
Dude.
The Mando I know of is on Tatooine.
I've spent much time on Tatooine. I've never seen a Mandalorian there.
My information is good, I tell
Dead
you.
chills.
The city of Mos Pelgo. Cut me down!
That wasn't part of the deal.
Oh,
Wait, what are you doing? Mando! I can pay! Mando! Mando!
What an opening.
cinema.
What an opening. man.
Television.
Holy shit. It's so good. Not gonna lie, I kind of forgot what happens in this episode. I saw the title and now I instantly remember.
Yeah. Oh, dude. And the connection we have with Kelly Moto now, which she's the one where we're like, I don't know about this. But like, after each time we revisit her, it's like, oh, okay, who's there? She's part of Star Wars. Like,
Yeah, they made it work.
Alright.
yeah.
Hey. Sorry, gang. Come on. You know he doesn't like droids.
May as
And the
well let them
prequel
have at
references
it.
we end up getting
The
from her
crest
too.
needs a good once over.
And the arc
So
of
he
him
likes
like
droids now.
mining droids
You heard
now,
him. Give it
Yeah.
a once-over.
and the fact it's the Phantom Menace droids from
Yeah.
Boonta Eve.
I guess a lot has changed since you were last in Mos. Oh, thank the force! This little thing has had me worried sick. Come near, you little womp rat. Looks like it remembers me. How much do you want for it? Just kidding, but not really.
Where is Mos Pelgo? I'm told there's one there.
Oh,
Pelgo,
boy, I
dude, that's
haven't heard
another
that
deep
name
cut
in
of
a
like
while.
that was on the other side of Tatooine. We
Someone
never
in your
revisited it
past.
in the main.
That's because it was wiped
Movies.
out by bandits. Once the Empire
Yeah.
fell, it was a free-for-all. I didn't dare leave the city walls. Still don't.
That's what the
Can
show
you
was
tell me
good
where it
at, was
used to
like
be?
taking things that were familiar to
You want to see
Like,
it?
most Star Wars
R5!
fans,
Bring
but
the
Rich
back
again.
Tatooine!
making it, a little original stuff.
R5,
Yeah,
like,
R5 popping up. I forgot
Throwaway.
R5 pops
Can't
up
get
in
them
here.
out
Yeah.
anymore. I don't even know who to complain to. Let's go. Let's go.
He's still got the
Waiting.
stain from.
that shot. It's like
Yeah.
This is a map of
Oh,
Tatooine before the war. You got Mos Eisley, Mos Espa, and up around this
oh, that
region,
cheese.
Mos Pelgo.
And again, the hint of another Mandalorian like coming about since season one. It's ever since that Fennec Shan twist ending of like, oh, there's somebody with spurs at the end of that episode. It's like, who's it being? All of them are like, it's fucking Boba Fett. Like, if they do anything, Boba Fett's a cock tease. It's fucking
Yeah.
blue balling us.
Yep. I remember watching it for the first time, being like, "Oh my god, to do Boba Fett in the first episode! Like we're doing Boba Fett right off the bat."
You know who that is, right?
I think I forgot who that is.
Can I
too.
help you?
W. Earl.
Can you describe him?
He played Bill in the last of the
Someone
video
who
game.
looks like me.
Oh.
Oh,
That's so cool.
oh, that music. The book readers must have been shitting their pants. Like,
What brings you here, stranger?
Never met a real Mandalorian.
Jim Stacy.
Heard stories. I know you're good at killing.
You are too in Scream
Probably
2.
none too happy to see me wearing this hardware. I'm Cobb Vanth, Marshal of Mos Pelgo.
Where did you get the
What
armor?
a guy.
Bought off some Jawas.
It's like pulling from the book, dude. I'm like,
Hand it over.
Mhm.
this was another thing that I was like, I always heard about this, but I never played KOTOR. And I was like, wait a minute, is this what they teased? Those bone things in A New Hope? And then I remember watching reaction. People were like, is this? You know, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Well.
Poor man.
Maybe we can work something out.
For those who don't know, that was a crate dragon, something deep from KOTOR, and there is, I think, a mission. We have to do this. We have to like hunt down the crate dragon. And this was just them showing off. They're like, oh, you know what can we use? Find out a pod race engine that looked very, very, very similar to fucking young Anakin's one from Phantom Menace.
Yep.
Talk about the water cooler talk show. This was the one. And I haven't seen these since Attack of the Clones. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I forgot how many prequel kind of just little nods there are in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I love Tusken Raiders too, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
always thought they were so cool ever since I was a kid.
But this whole thing of the sign language thing is like had new depth to them. Like, oh.
Yeah, they did a lot of like just kind of fleshing out of the Tusken Raiders culture and everything in this and Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with this?
You drink it.
It stinks.
Do you want their help?
Not if I have to drink this.
Says your people steal their water. Now you insult them by not drinking it. They know about Mos Pelgo. They know how many sand people you killed.
They raided our village. I defended the town.
Lower your voice.
This was a bad idea.
You're agitating them.
These monsters can't be reasoned with. Sit back down before I put a hole through you. I'm not gonna.
What are you telling them?
The same thing I'm telling you. If we fight amongst ourselves, the monster will kill us all. Now,
There you go,
how
Pedro.
do we kill it?
I love this Cowboys and Indian stuff. I'm just like, yo, get your shit together. It's like,
He's
Oh.
like, man, I don't give a fuck. I want to die. I want my armor.
yeah.
They are raiders, it's true, but they also keep their word. If we are willing to leave them the carcass and its ichor, they will stand by our side in battle and vow never to raise a blaster against this town until one of you breaks the peace.
Whew. I love that. Like, there's a deal said, but it's only a matter of time until one of you motherfuckers breaks it and fucks it up. It's like,
Yeah.
Think it'll work?
oh, I love this Lawrence of Arabia, like chapter shot. I love this vibe. Most people like, we don't like your folks around here, you know.
We don't like your kind. Smart picking the Tusken Raiders too, because you really only see them do terrible stuff in Star Wars. So they're like
Yeah.
trying to. It makes sense why like a town would just absolutely hate them. So you kind of get both sides a little bit.
And again, it was hinted at that, like, the perspective is like, well, they've been here the longest and everybody else is just invading their land. It's like, okay, there's
Yeah.
something to be said about, like, the way our country's treated the Native Americans. It's like, we have reservations for you. That's good enough. And it's like, I don't know about that. Like, oh shit, it's made its way all the way to the top.
It's a puke volcano.
Yeah.
Picking us off like wolf rats.
And dude, this
Let's
moment,
get after them.
like every nerd's like wet dream is like, oh shit, Mandalorians are gonna fire the fucking Ajax. Like, oh.
Get in there, boys.
Like everybody, dude, this shot was a giddy shot. Like, like, we used to fucking read comic books out of this shit. We never thought they'd fucking do it on a fucking TV show, much less a fucking movie that look, or a TV show that looks like a movie.
This ain't doing a thing. Just keep shooting.
Fucking Moby Dick moment.
Yep.
That's sick, man.
Yeah, what a shot.
I gotta get out of them doing that same shit from the old movie. I love it. I think you get paid to do that. Oh, you have to get paid to do that.
Oh, I'd do that gladly.
I hope our paths cross again.
As do I.
Me
Oh.
too.
And you tell your people I wasn't the one that broke that.
Like that's what was cool. Like I love this duo, this team up. It's like, please don't make this the last time we see this. And
Yeah,
dude,
like they casted Timothy Olyphant.
yeah, this is from the Kotor game. That was one of the goals. You have to get the pearl from the dragon.
Gotcha.
Oh, and the shift to ratio, like,
Oh yeah.
and this lit a fire under the whole
Oh,
community's
man.
ass, the whole family's ass. It was like, wait, no, and then, oh,
What a fucking deal.
first and only episode of The Mandalorian that Jon Favreau directed.
Yeah.
We've seen Chapter 9, The Marshal, Season 2, Episode 1 of The Mandalorian. I'm so glad I stayed away and not seen it. I was like, all right, let me hold off until we do this and rewatch it again because before I start talking, Johnny, how do you feel about watching it for the first time in a while?
Oh, that's a solid premiere to the season. I mean, I think it gives you classic cowboy vibes where like you got, Mando obviously kind of going to a different town that needs help and kind of banding everyone together to take down this greater threat. It's just like a kind of a classic old school cowboy kind of story. But instead we got two dudes in Mandalorian armor, which is awesome. I think it stands on its own as just like a solid episode, and then like the little tease of Boba Fett at the end there is a great little kind of nugget to kind of just get you excited for the rest of the season. Especially since the episode kind of plays with your emotions a little bit of like, you think they might do Boba Fett in the first episode, that he's just going to go to this town and Mando's going to find Boba Fett there. And instead you find Cobb Vanth, which I think is a great character that the show introduced. Definitely one of my favorites from the show. And I think Timothy Olyphant was a great choice and does a great job. He's played cowboys and stuff before, so having him come and be the cool cowboy guy is just perfect.
Yeah.
Him and Pedro just work well together. The getting a little bit of the Tusken Raiders lore and stuff like that was just cool at the time. So there wasn't really too much yet out there, at least. And then like I said, they play with you a little bit with expecting Boba Fett. You get Cobb Vanth instead, so you're watching the episode and you're like, oh, okay, so like Boba Fett might have survived or whatever, or maybe they did just take his armor off his dead body or something, but like, we got this guy, we don't have Boba Fett this episode. Then the episode ends with fucking Boba Fett, which is just really, really cool. It's just a solid episode, man. I think the cinematography is great, the music's great, the action's solid. I mean, it's not really much more you could ask for from just like a solid Mandalorian episode. Have a Jon Favreau direct it too is just awesome.
Yeah. What's weird is that, like, to me, this is one of my favorite episodes of the show, obviously, but like, I remember being like, besides the first episode of season 1, this episode especially showed that, like, it's almost like, look at the runtime, it's almost the length of like a TV movie. Like, it felt like a mini movie. And so the notion that, again, why are we doing this is the road to Mandalorian and Grogu, is that like we could level up and do a movie of these two main characters and make it simple. Like it was simple. There's layers to it if you're a Star Wars fan, or if people are curious, like, what do you mean, what's with the Tusken Raiders? What's with the Sand People? It's like, well, let me tell you about the history of it. And I just love how cinematic it felt and simple. And that's the best compliment, where it feels big, but it's very small. It's the notion of these two guys who they have code, and getting the Indians and the Cowboys to get together and be like, listen, y'all, there's a bigger threat than just, fighting amongst yourselves. It's like, if both y'all don't get your shit together, something else is going to wipe y'all down. And I just felt like it was just simple and fun to watch. Like, I could have easily paid to see this in the movie theater instead of watching on Disney Plus, which, kudos to Disney Plus for putting up the money, but like, I would have happily paid extra money to watch it in the cinema because it screams of like put it up on screen, put it up on the big screen, and let the surround sound hit, let the Tuscan language hit, let Ludwig's music blow through the stereos, and
Yep.
again, a lot of stuff that like this is a good example of like if you're not a hardcore Star Wars fan, this is a good show to start, and especially this episode is like you don't need to know that much about the Sand People or Mos Pelgo or of the Gamorrean guards at the beginning where they're fighting, or the notion that there's so much little Easter eggs that are very throwaway from the prequels and the originals, and how much that just is nutrition, almost like vitamin to this episode. The details of it, of like you don't need to know, but if you know, you get a little gold star for being a fan for however long you've been. I mean, like the one thing I noticed, like remember I told you there was like some guy like yelling in the fight, in the Muay Thai fight at the beginning. Apparently that was David Cho, who's a graffiti artist.
Really?
The one who did like the mural outside in the street.
Yeah.
We'll put you in makeup so you can be in Star Wars for a quick like second and whatnot. But we got John Leguizamo as the little like Cyclops mini dude boss. We got Amy Sedaris back as Pelimoto. The introduction of Cobb Vanth that we both dug, a character from the books, and that was also a big deal. Like, wow, we're taking a character from the books in a big bad way, and the way that we'll get to him later on once we continue with the show. But when they initially brought back Thrawn, it was a big deal in the EU Legends now, but they brought him back to Rebels, and how much that signifies the notion of like you don't throw away everything and discard the past. No, if there's something good worth to bring back or something good to reintroduce for the first time, do it. Cobb Vanth. But then again, you tease like maybe Boba Fett's out there. Well, two last shots is a bald dude, and so read into it as you will. And yeah, man. I again rewatching this episode was like, yeah, that's why I'm not too like, what the fuck are they doing putting in the movie? Like, it's like, no, like the show is cinematic, so why not?
Absolutely.
I think Disney could afford them. I think Mickey Mouse has enough money to like,
The
yo,
mouse has it covered. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of episodes in the show that are just very cinematic. Like,
yeah,
if there was really any Star Wars show that they wanted to make a movie out of, The Mandalorian, I think, is the easy no-brainer choice.
yeah,
It's just they have, like you said, multiple episodes, I think, that are about an hour long, gigantic budget, just huge scale. They've always kind of had just big episodes in the show. So when they announced the movie, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. I think the budget for these episodes, at least over the first few seasons, was like somewhere between $15 and $30 million, somewhere around that. I remember they're like it's the biggest budget television show. It's like, but it looks twice its money. At least this episode looked twice that budget. Like it looked big.
Yeah, this was definitely when I think like Disney Star Wars was kind of like almost at its peak in a way, where like resources were going to the right things. It looked great. Everything was quality. Like everyone was happy. This was kind of like almost like the golden age of modern Star Wars, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I think this and the momentum that Rebels was building up, was like this was like there was less and less banter between the fandom, and it's like, all right, buddy, maybe some of you aren't big Mandalorian fans, but maybe by the end of this season or this show, you have come to appreciate the notion that the Mandalorians exist in the canon and in this universe, this galaxy. But yeah, before we wrap things up, final thoughts. This episode makes my top 5 episodes of the show, and there's what?
Oh wow.
24 episodes winner, so like this is a top episode for me, and it's, I mean, again, he's mixing it around because he's been such a director and actor for so long, but like the notion that this is his first and only directed episode of the show is maddening because he created it, he pitched it, and you feel how much the collaboration was between Dave Filoni, who's now the co-president of Lucasfilm, and Jon. Like it felt like I consider them almost the Lennon and McCartney of Star Wars in creative, and it's like you feel like this is a good song that the Beatles came up with, and I just hope that the energy and tone, because again, we talked about it, the opening of this episode feels like what we've seen out of the marketing for Mandalorian and Grogu. So as long as the tone and the spirit with a new story, simple, and you add on stuff like Sigourney fucking Weaver to it, that hopefully the movie delivers. And I hope this is a good echo for that, in my opinion. Yeah.
I hope so.
Any final thoughts, Johnny?
Not really. I would say like I would just say this is probably one of the best premieres of the show.
Yes.
For sure. I don't know if I'd say it's top 5 for me. I think there's off the top of my head, there might be 3 or 4 episodes this season I might like more than this one, to be honest, just based off my memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like premieres go, it's as solid as it gets. It tells its own story. It sets some stuff up. It kind of just gets the ball rolling in a nice way. Yeah, very large, very cinematic, and very kind of laid the groundwork of stuff to come in the future for this franchise in general.
I agree. But yeah, folks, that'll conclude our review of Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1. Hopefully you dug our reaction and our review. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the enthusiasm. Johnny, please, thank you, hermano, for taking the time to hang out and revisit the show. Plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you.
Of course, man. My pleasure. I'm happy to finally do some Star Wars content with you, man. It's been a long time, especially since I haven't seen the show in a while also. Jon6 on Twitch and YouTube. I don't really post on YouTube that much anymore, but I do stream on Twitch pretty often. Usually music and video game content. I want to try to get back into YouTube when I have free time, but no promises. Yeah, those Jon6 on Twitch and YouTube is where you can find me.
Beautiful. But yeah, folks, if you haven't, go revisit the first season coverage we did and be ready for almost every week leading up to the Mandalorian and Grogu. We're going to be dropping a reaction or two on my channel. And go see Johnny and our friend Chainsaw live the music every Monday when they can. And I am pretty certain that probably at the end of the season, we'll probably do a roundtable of how we feel about the season. And hell, in 2 months' time, we might even do that for the movie as well. I know we're going to do something for May the 4th. I know we have to do something for that, but probably for the film, we might do something similar for it. But until then, may the Force be with you, and this is the way.